Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Me talking, playing Minecraft. So, today we're going to be talking about meeting new people. I want to build a villager breeder and talk about my experiences with meeting new people. So, let's get to it. Also, I have done some stuff, you know, mining off camera and such. I got a really good pickaxe, and if we go down here, I was able to make myself and find a zombie spawner to get levels and all that stuff. So that was pretty cool. Hey guys, so real quick, my recording cut off. I don't know exactly what happened, but the context is that I met on a trip, I met a ton of new people, and I really enjoyed meeting them. But then I realized, wow, these people exist. And I'm like, wow, there's a lot of them. And I'm like, wow, there's 8 billion of them. And so that's kind of what shocked me. So yeah. And of course, I know it's kind of dumb. Like, duh. There's 8 billion people in the world. Obviously, a lot of them exist. But it's really difficult when you're in a small environment to realize how many people truly exist. And it's hard to wrap, at least for me, wrap my head around it whenever I meet new people. I always think, oh, they're a part of the, the 8 billion people that always exist. And the super cool thing about meeting all these people is that it gave me a chance to talk with them about like politics and just other stuff around the world that, you know, it'd be hard for me to only hear from other people and like on the internet. And I think it was really cool, like hearing their different viewpoints and everything. And I'm really glad I'm a social person, just because throughout my life I've been always talking to people, and it's always been such a nice experience, like meeting new people. I don't know, it's something different that I really enjoy. And I think many people that are shy, it does really take away from the enjoyment I feel of being a human, especially being a human in like today's society where we're all extremely interconnected. You know, for like however long humanity has existed for, we have been social creatures that always have relied on each other for just surviving. And I think it's also really important that people who are shy really try and get out of the bubble, you know? Because it is really easy to just sit inside or not talk to anyone when you're out. Especially at some points during my trip, it was really difficult for me to go and talk to people because I always felt, you know, maybe down in the dumps, or I felt a certain way that I didn't want to talk to people, but I knew that I would regret it later, and I just decided I need to push myself to go talk to these people and really try to connect with them. And in doing so, I made a lot of different memories with a lot of people, and I really enjoyed that. And that's something I'd really like to take with this series as well. Hopefully, if it grows, I don't know if it will, I'd really like to talk to new people and see their opinions on whatever I talk about. Let's say meeting new people or trying something that I've never done before. Before I used to go on a lot of trips, which I'm very grateful for that I do, I always used to go on VR chat and just talk to random people wherever around the world. Like, for example, there's this one time I met this dude. He was in the US Army. He lived in South Korea. And he always used to talk about what he did and why he was based there. And it was really interesting. Alright, now I have to get these villagers here to over there. And not even that dude alone. There was other people, like some guy from Italy that I met, or from like Bosnia. That was a really interesting conversation talking to them. Alright, now we get the next one in. So if you're thinking of meeting anyone new, or even want to just talk online, I think it's a great way to talk to more people. Many Americans, it's very difficult for them to travel around. And I was actually talking about that with one of my friends that I recently met. It was very difficult to just experience new people rather than Americans because the country is so big. And a way for other Americans to be more open-minded is to travel and meeting new people. I was able to open myself up to kind of new ideas that some people like challenge my old worldview, and some people were able to just talk about why I thought a certain way. And I thought that was really cool. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I think as a first video to discuss just some random thought that I had the other day, I think it's a pretty good start. Another thing that comes from meeting new people is also just new friendships, which I also think is pretty important. Because with new friendships, you're able to, again, talk to more people about different things. For example, last year I met someone from a different country from mine, and he was a really cool dude. We used to talk all the time. We don't talk as much, mainly because I kind of got super busy with college and didn't really game as much. And it's really interesting because we always talk about world events and how his view is on it and what my view is on it. And I think it's really interesting to kind of talk in contrast about what do I think in my part of the world compared to what does he think in his part of the world. And it's also fun to talk with new languages with people. Like I tried speaking Spanish with some of my new friends and I thought I did good, but they told me that I do just need to learn more. It was also fun to talk about conspiracy theories. I'm not like a crazy conspiracy theory person, but you know, it's more like food for thought. It's a fun thing to do and talk about with people. I don't necessarily think most of them are real, but maybe they did think I was crazy, but I don't really care. They still spoke to me afterwards, so I think they thought I was cool. But overall, meeting these new people in my life opened a lot of doors and opened a lot of just ideas in my mind about truly how big the world is. Also, it's going to be interesting talking to those people and keeping up with them like I did with one of my other friends. And I want to try to keep contact with these people because I think it's important just to I don't want it to just be a one-time thing where I only meet them once and that's it. I think being able to say you meet a ton of new people and then even keep contact with them is just a huge plus. It's something that I really want to strive for. Because it's not like I want a jillion friends. I do want a good amount of friends, but at least if I do meet people that I do really mess with and enjoy, I would like to keep them around, you know? And obviously trying to maintain those relationships isn't just a one-way thing. They also, you know, have to try and keep in contact with you. But I for sure think that if these new people that I talk to mess with me as well and really like me, then, you know, we'll have a friendship. And even with this one friend who I talked to about, you know, world events, we used to play Minecraft together. Obviously, not as much now, but, you know, it's still something to keep in mind that even if you do have all these friends that are super far away, especially with now, like it's so easy to just talk to people online rather than, you know, a couple generations ago where you met someone like, who knows, another town away and you'd never talk to them ever again. Oh, do I need another trapdoor?
That to wall. Next, get yourself full.
Oh, duh. So it turns out I need another trapdoor. Another cool thing meeting new people is that it opens so many doors. Like, for example, I saw one video, like it was on Instagram or something, and it was just a guy who always says hello to people. And one time they were talking about, like, he was next to a really big, I believe it was a commercial building, and he started a conversation with the guy. The guy was like, oh yeah, I'm a business person or whatever. And it turns out that guy was in the right place at the right time because he was in that field or something like that. And he was able to get a job out of it, which I think is super cool. So if you're taking away anything from this video, I say just go say hi to random people when you can. Every time me and my good friend go out... Oh, what the heck? What the... Oh, cause... Oh. Well, the villager breeder works. Alright, now I gotta get some other stuff. The villager breeder. But every time me and my good friend go out, he always just says hi to random people. And I never really understood it. I was like, dude, we're just going our own separate way. Why do you really care about saying hi to these people? And we were always doing our own thing until he told me about that video. And then I kept on asking him, you know, why do you do this stuff? Why do you just say hi to random people? Not necessarily because it's a bad thing. You know, it's just mainly out of curiosity. And try to just be more out there. He said, just do it. Just to say hi to people and try and meet as many new people as possible. And I think that's pretty much the takeaway from this video. If me yapping about talking to people for, you know, 7-8 minutes won't convince you, just go outside and just try to talk to as many people as you can. It's kind of weird because in different countries they always have different like cultural norms, especially when meeting new people. Oh, what the heck? There's a thunderstorm. Like a lot of places in Europe, people are just outside, just talking and doing whatever. But a lot of the times in the United States, many people are indoors or just not randomly outside in places. At least in most metropolitan cities, there is a good amount. Uh-oh. Oh god, he's a baby zombie villager. In most of those areas, they have at least some people going out and socializing and talking, but not many. And I think as humans, it's extremely important for the need to socialize. It's not just fun to talk to random people, but it's also genuinely good for your mental health. Many studies have shown that like being lonely is extremely bad for your health. So if you seriously struggle with some type of social anxiety, I think it's very important to take baby steps when it comes to trying to meet new people, because it could seem overwhelming and just daunting to meet new people. Maybe because of fear of judgment or a fear you might mess up. But truthfully, your mind is more powerful than you think, you know? A lot of the times, it's really not that bad. And if you just go out, and I mean, if you do mess up, worst case scenario, you mess up, and that's that. Even for me sometimes, I don't know if you guys notice, but I do sometimes stutter when I talk. And it's weird because it hasn't been a really common thing throughout my life, but more and more I've been stuttering. Not too much, but, you know, sometimes. I don't want to sound like all those people, but after COVID, it's like, it got kind of bad, which is really weird. Maybe it's because I was staying inside. I don't know. But I live with it now, and I try to speak more clearly and have more clarity. That's the same thing. I try to speak more clearly and concisely whenever I talk. Which is another reason why I wanted to start this channel. I wanted to just try and see how well I can fit my ideas into my own words. Because in my head, I think, oh, this idea, I think that idea, I think you should talk more. I think you should meet new people. But in my head, it's just a jumble of words and mess. But whenever I try to actually talk to someone, it can try and come out better. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe I'm just yapping. But yeah, that was kind of just my talk for today. Sorry I kind of made it short and a little incoherent. I tried putting some of the scripts together, but at the end it kind of fell apart. But whatever. I just hope I got my point across. You gotta meet new people, and you just gotta enjoy your life. TLDR. So yeah, I hope you guys just meet new people. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, enjoyed my app, and I'll see you later.